Leader of the House, in the Queensland election, the LNP averred, do the crime, do the time, a flagrant lie. The jails had been full and overflowing for 3 years. Then a vote for KP is a vote for Labor. Perish the thought. Another lie. Townsville's crime rate warranted KP detouring from his trademark alternative, how to vote, and actually preferencing the Liberals. Oh, well, shame, but anyway. The muckraking, dredging up a youth indiscretion. Leader, would you agree LNP's strategies successful? LNP moral conviction in the gutter.
I have some difficulties with that question, only because it is asking for opinion, but it's a very broad. The member for Kennedy does not have the call. The Leader is willing to answer the question. It's barely within standing orders, but we'll give it a go.
Yeah, I'll give it a go, Mr Speaker. And the question goes to the conviction of people's views when they get to the House as Leader of the House. And with the member for Kennedy, who I've had many portfolios over the years where he has lobbied me right back from when I had the agriculture portfolio back in 2007, or even immigration as a shadow. And I will say for the member for Kennedy, what he says outside the House, what he lobbies you with privately, and how he votes inside the House are always the same thing. And whether you agree or disagree with the views of the member for Kennedy, he is always fearlessly in support of his electorate, and he always has utter conviction in how he votes in this chamber. I can compare and contrast that behaviour because it would not be consistent with the rogue point of order that the Leader of the Opposition gave today for the opposition to then be voting with the Greens on, of all things, housing, the environment and immigration. And yet they have a unity ticket now on all three of those. The member for Kennedy would never do anything like that. But housing, environment and immigration, voting Liberal or voting Green, gives you the same outcome in this chamber and in the Senate. The reckless arrogance of the announcement today is extraordinary. To claim and to make the case of the connections between immigration and housing and then to decide to vote that there be no cap is reckless arrogance beyond belief. The Leader of the House will pause.
The member for Page on a point of order.
Yeah, a point of order of relevance, Speaker. I think you were very lenient to allow the question to be in order, but the minister now is straying across a whole board. It's all compare and contrast. It's all about this side of the parliament and out of order.
To be fair, the question was framed in that way, and I wasn't comfortable with the broad nature of it. And order, and as members know, I try and allow all questions in where possible, as what I try to give everyone a fair go. And given the broad nature, and the minister was happy to ask the question, and the huge relevance issue within that question, it's going to be hard for me to make sure everything isn't directly relevant. So just if the minister can—
No, Mr Speaker, and I accept the caution that's made, because the question actually made no reference to the member for Kennedy, but made multiple references to the LNP, so I will stay relevant to that for the remainder of the answer. Because the Leader of the Opposition wants to make it harder for people. He wants to make people worse off. And the example today with the announcement in the Senate is part of a consistent pattern from this Leader of the Opposition. Why did they vote no to energy bill relief? Because they want to make it harder for people. He wants to make people worse off. Why are they opposing free TAFE? Another announcement today. Because he wants to make people worse off. Why are they opposing the cutting of student debt? Because he wants to make people worse off. Why did they oppose cheaper medicines? Because he wants to make people worse off. Every single element that comes before this House on cost of living, When he has an opportunity to show conviction, he runs a mile. Runs a mile every time. And don't look at what he says, don't look at the rhetoric, look at how he votes. On immigration, environment and housing, he votes with the Greens, and on cost of living, he votes no to helping people every single time.